please stand? Please be seated. On behalf of Mike and Aggie, both of their families, welcome and thank you for joining them in the celebration of their love for each other. My name is Tom, and I've known Mike for about 13 years now, and Aggie for 5. I was extremely honored when they asked me to officiate their wedding. However, like many of you, I was raised Catholic, so this will take approximately 4 hours. I've known Mike and Aggie for a long time. I like to take credit for hosting their first date, but to be honest, I had very little to do with it. The three of us all worked together, though Aggie had just recently been hired, and I hosted a New Year's party at my home, and Mike asked if he could invite Aggie. I said yes. They showed up, and the two of them proceeded to talk to no one but each other for the entire evening. This was a New Year's party, so it started at 7 and ended at New Year's, so this was a really long time, just them talking to each other. This prompted other guests to ask my wife and I, are those two together? And a popular phrase that was in vogue at the time was bow chicka wow wow, and I heard that more times than I cared to that actually. The marriage that we are here to celebrate today. To express how they feel for one another, Mike and Aggie have chosen special readings that we will now hear.
What I am when I'm with you. I love you not only for what you have made of yourself, but for what you are making of me. I love you for the part of me that you bring out. I love you for putting your hand to my heaped up heart and passing over all the foolish weak things that you can't help dimly seeing there, and for drawing out into the light all the beautiful belongings that no one else had looked quite far enough to find. I love you because you are helping me to make a wonder of my life, not a tavern, but a temple, out of the works of my everyday, not a reproach, but a song. I love you because you have done more than any creed could have done to make me good, and more than any fate to make me happy. You have done it without a touch, without a word, without a sign. You have done it by being yourself.
There are two things the two of you are going to hear a lot today. One of them is going to be tips for a successful marriage. The second one is going to be, when are you two going to have kids? I'm not going to do anything about the latter because I have no control over that. Everyone's curious. I'm a little curious. I would say put it off myself, but that's me. My wife and I, when we got married, we actually had a bet as to an over-under in terms of wondering how many times we would actually be asked them. As for the marriage advice, though, I remember when my wife and I got married on our wedding day, we were overwhelmed with a lot of advice. Some of it was helpful. Someone I remember saying communication is very important, is everything. Some of it was kind of anecdotal, just put the toilet seat down and you'll be fine. And then I remember one relative who made it a point to, he gave a little more insight into his own marriage than I really cared to appreciate. He said, do whatever she does without question, no questions asked. So, however, it was a lot to take in on a day when you're busy getting married and thanking people for coming and getting cake stuffed into my nose. So I'm going to do you two a favor today and try to nip this in the bud a little bit. Everyone here right now, you have one opportunity today to give these two your best piece of marriage advice. You can call them up on another day and tell them whatever you want, tell stories, whatever. But today, for right now, we're only going to do this one time. Right now, I want you to think of one piece of advice that you want to give them today. Okay, got it? And on the count of three, we're all going to give Mike and Aggie our secrets to marital bliss. We're only going to do this one time. If you don't have anything, if you don't think you have anything, make something up. This is a family event. We're all doing it. Okay? On the count of three. 1, 2, 3.
A nice house.
All right. You guys got that, right? All of it? Yes. Great. I did a memory. I like to think that ultimately all of this advice boils down to love. All you need is love. Out of love comes respect. Respect means putting down the toilet seat. Out of love comes loyalty. Loyalty means being true to the one you're marrying today. And out of love comes consideration. Being considerate means maybe sharing a bottle of wine before drinking it all yourself. If you can remember to love one another even when it's hard, you'll be all right, with or without the advice of others.
Mike chose a couple of short, unconventional quotes, which is appropriate for him because he's kind of an unconventional guy. The first is from Albert Einstein. Gravitation cannot be held responsible for people falling in love. How on earth can you explain, in terms of chemistry and physics, so important a biological phenomenon as a first love? Put your hand on the stove for a minute and it feels like an hour. Sit with that special girl for an hour and it seems like a minute. That's relativity. The second seems to suit Mike and Aggie both very well because they're both, well, let's just say unique. We are all a little weird and life's a little weird. And when we find someone whose weirdness is compatible with ours, we join up with them and fall in mutual weirdness and call it love.
Maybe we have the rings. Don't drop it, it goes down. Hopefully we won't again either. Aggie, will you take care of your husband? Make yourself his happiness and self-fulfillment as a person. You promise to love, honor, and trust him in sickness and in health, adversity and prosperity. Be true and loyal to him, so long as you both shall live. Mike, will you take Aggie to be your wife? Commit yourself to her happiness and self-fulfillment as a person. You promise to love, honor, and trust her in sickness and in health, in adversity and prosperity. Be true and loyal to her, so long as you both shall live. With a statement of love and trust you've just heard, I pronounce you and Aggie husband and wife. Kiss the bride. Gentlemen, I'm pleased to be the first to present to you Mr. and Mrs. Mike Sherwin. My best to break Shonet's stemware. My name's Tom. I was the officiant for the wedding, and we have the wedding party here. I'd like to introduce the wedding party. And may I please also present Michael and Aggie Sherwin.
It's a bad thing, Alex. I know it's a yeah, maybe just hot water, maybe juice, low concentrated. You can turn 21, you can have only a kid.
I was going to say food.
Here we go. Here.
Mike and I would like to welcome you all to our wedding. Thank you all so much for our speech. We would like to thank all of you for being here today. It means the world to us that you came here to celebrate our love. I'd like to thank my bridesmaids. I'd like to thank my parents. None of this would be possible without you. I'd like to thank my new in-laws for making your family so welcoming. And I can't wait to finally be a Sherwin. Well,
You're there.
who would have thought that my office crush would turn into my husband?
Beautiful.
Yes, it's Dad's turn.
Oh, Charlie. You can do this, baby.
Well, I'm Charlie Gallagher.
Are you that Lauer man?
Mike Lauer.
This is how it's going to go. Well, welcome and thank you for traveling to Chalmette and attending our great day of this wedding celebration. You know, when Aggie and Mike said, you know, an outdoor wedding, great. October the 18th, I thought, you know, the weather, I'm like, great decision, guys. Beautiful day, thank God. It's just been wonderful so far. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank my wife Lori and the Sherwins, Linda, Larry, and Amy for making this great day possible with all your hard work. Thank you. I talked about Agatha a little bit and her supporting cast. And besides her parents, the first people to look with love in their eyes at her were her grandparents, Marge and Tom, and June and Charles. 4 diverse personalities, but really great people to learn about life, love, and good values. From making her sketch to bringing cheesecake when she needed it, to being at all of her choral concerts, the birthdays at all the different Chinese restaurants, from trips around the world. You guys showed your love, and I know she loves you dearly, and I thank you. I'd also like to mention her brothers, Kyle and Neil, the 3 of them, the perfect little family unit, as long as you kept Kyle in the middle and Aggie on this side. But they are really great young men, and they're going to be good companions through life for Aggie and mine. I'd also like to mention, because I've got the stage, her aunts and uncles and cousins, and my aunts and uncles and cousins. They're all wonderful people, loving, and will do anything for you. You know, Aggie had just graduated from college, and she's having a really tough time finding her first job. And her Uncle Mark just happened to be talking to a stranger on the street, which he does from time to time, and found out that the Jewish Light was looking for a graphic designer. Well, Aggie quickly applied, got the job, and that's where she met her Mr. Right. So thank you, Uncle Mark. Also, I'd like to mention, you know, when Aggie and Mike were looking for their first home, the first people they called, or first person she called, was my Aunt Kitty and my cousin Pat's son Matt to look for the home. And nobody twisted their arm, nobody told them to do that, but that's who they wanted to work with. And you know, it was a tough housing market, but they worked hard, they had fun, and they really got a wonderful first place. And you know, I just thought about the 4 of them working together, and I thought, wow, that's great. That's really neat that happened. And I know she has a special relationship and a special love for all of you aunts and uncles and cousins. So thank you for being part of her life.
Yay.
Of course, Aggie is special to me. She's, I love her. She's my only daughter. She's named after my late mother. She's really a good person. We give her trouble, but she's a hard worker, and she really has, you know, a unique personality. She has, you know, like good values are really wired into her DNA. But you know, she's very creative. She loves the arts. She can have a bit of a foul mouth every once in a while. Politically incorrect, but she's only doing it for a laugh or to have fun, and it's never bitter. She really has that spark that people are drawn to. A little example of that: when the kids were little, I'd have to get up early and go to work, and you know, I'd go in and retuck them back in and give them a little kiss on the forehead. And I'd go into Aggie's room and give her a little kiss. And she loved The Lion King, and she must have slept with this Simba for about 12 years. And, you know, some mornings I'd go in there and give her that little kiss, and she'd wake up and she'd say in her best little Simba voice, "Papa, got to go to work now, Papa." And then she'd go back to sleep, and it was really priceless. And now she gets to amuse and lighten my days with me. And, you know, he's lucky, but she's lucky too, because through their dating, I've gotten to know Mike, and he's very intelligent, he's a hard-working guy, and he's quietly very funny. I know he loves the outdoors. I mean, today is just, you know, made for him. He loves camping. hiking and fishing. He's a very good cook, and my wife Lori adores him. He's very close to his parents and his siblings, and he loves being Uncle Mike to his nieces and nephew, and that's a very positive trait. I've noticed how much he cares for and how well he treats my daughter, and other people in my family have mentioned that too, and I'm grateful for that, Mike. Let's see here. Aggie has mentioned to me a lot of times that she's much better at making friends than keeping friends. But I know she must really love Mike because she's kept him. And they say that what really makes a marriage special is if you find the right person. And it's the right person if you love being with them all the time. And right now, I'd like to walk over to my right person. The most beautiful person I know. Mike and Aggie.
Great job. Charlie's good.
Yeah, I'm giving a speech. Give it a speech. Okay, so picture this. It's Friday night. Two girls are sitting cross-legged on the living room floor. TV's on in the background, macaroni and cheese in hand, playing an intense round of the Pokemon card game. Now, how old were these girls that you envisioned? 7, 10, rock. So this was Aggie and myself at 20 years old, just trying to bring back some nostalgia. And I really love to tell you that this was a one-time occurrence, but I've never been a great liar. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Alex McLean. I first met Aggie our freshman year of college. During our college years, we got really good at one thing in particular, procrastinating on design projects. I mean, we used to do anything and everything before we would start our projects. Going to the parks after class to sketch and end up taking pictures of ourselves as tourists. Frequenting Entertainment to buy bargain movies we'd never watch again. Probably because we were watching Forgetting Sarah Marshall over and over and over. Also trolling YouTube for the latest viral video. And lastly, making unintentionally Sophie Hamburger Helper. Mike, I hope you've brushed up on your senseless YouTube videos. And I know you've got the meals under control. In fact, one of the first things I learned about Mike was his love of cooking. I met Mike for the first time on a trip up to St. Louis. He prepared a fancy Italian dinner for the three of us. And this was when I knew Aggie found someone really special. As he carefully crafted this meal, he left out a usually key ingredient for Italian food: onions. Because if there's one thing that Aggie hates in this world, it's the taste of onions. And I thought that was one of the sweetest sacrifices a chef could make. So everyone, please join me in raising a glass of sweet berry wine to Mr. and Mrs. Sherwin.
Hi everybody, I'm Jenny, and Mike and I go way back. We're twins, and so Mike is an extra special person to me. He is smart, funny, handsome, charm. I'm sorry, it's really hard to read what Mike wrote here. So he is an awesome brother and friend, and I know he'll be a great husband and life partner. And I remember New Year's Day, we always have game day at my mom's house, and the night before he had attended Tom's party with Aggie, and he was so excited. He left the table and Aggie sent a text, and they set up a date, and then we know the rest of the story, so special we got to be part of that. And then Aggie, I know I speak for my whole family when I say, welcome to the family officially. We love you and are happy for both of you. Let's raise a glass and toast to Mike and Aggie Sherwin. May this be the first day of a beautiful, evolving, lifelong
Okay, that's all.
So if we can have all these single ladies in the room, whether you want to or not, please join us out on the dance floor.
Okay, you two.
Yeah, get out there.
All the single ladies. Are you going out there? Why not? Are you married?
No.
No? Well, then you have to come out here.
I don't have to.
Let's go.
Come on, you might catch the bouquet.
All the single. Nope, that's not you.
Everybody